Rant for like 2 seconds. I don't do this very often, but I want to today. I want to rant. I'm so sick and tired of people coming on my account being like, when are you going to address your diet? Y'all don't know what I eat. I don't make that much food content. I don't talk about what I eat.
I don't make that much food content.
And frankly, you are not here watching me put food in my mouth.
You are not here watching me put food in my mouth.
So how do you know what I'm eating?
Meet Anna O'Brien, a name that's been stirring controversy all over social media. Once seen as a beacon of body positivity, she is now better known as TikTok's most hated, delusional, and entitled plus-size influencer. From spreading medical misinformation to pushing misleading narratives about chronic conditions like lipedema, Anna's content has gone from annoying to outright disgusting.
In 1 week, I am having surgery to address my lipedema. I am trying to smile through it and I am trying to live through it, but I am crying a lot. I can't help feeling like a failure.
Recently, Anna made headlines for her lipedema surgery videos, marketing them as informative and educational. But her content failed to show the painful, messy, and complex reality of lipedema surgeries, misleading countless viewers who are desperately seeking real guidance.
Got done with my appointment, and then I just had a quick change to go to the airport. And what's good is I feel different after this appointment. After my first doctor's review, I felt really anxious and uncomfortable. And after this appointment, I feel very hopeful and excited. Whoa, there's some bumps. It's the beginning of a really exciting new journey. And I'm gonna take you guys along for the whole way. I'm worth it. I've done a lot of work and it's time to now take this step.
And it doesn't stop there. Anna has a habit of doing wildly unnecessary and frankly risky stunts like running a 5K marathon or squeezing into tight caves, all while expecting applause for being active despite weighing hundreds of pounds. While she paints this as empowerment, many see it as reckless and stupid, if we're to be honest.
Big person in a tiny space and it's hard. We're at Mammoth Cave National Park. This is mildly terrifying.
And let's talk entitlement. Anna constantly shifts between claiming to love her body and openly complaining about how her weight affects her mobility. She acknowledges the health risks, yet avoids promoting sustainable lifestyle or dietary changes, instead pushing expensive and unrealistic solutions onto her audience.
And very frustrated with my body. And I felt mad at my body. Like, just to be really honest, I felt mad that it won't change in the way I want to. I felt mad that I've made all these changes and I don't feel like it's working in the way I wanted it to. Couldn't bear the idea of like doing my hair or doing my makeup or even putting on an outfit because it just felt so much work. And I had never really felt like this before, and I think that's why it was so scary for me, because I don't usually need a lot of motivation to get up and do something, really anything. And I felt myself slowly like creating the world that I felt already existed for me. So I felt alone, I felt removed, I felt like nothing. Even when I accepted it, I still didn't make any changes in my life. I was just like, whatever, I'm gonna progressively gain weight forever. I might as well like have fun while that's happening. So I did exactly opposite of what someone should do when they are diagnosed with a condition, especially a progressive disorder. I just basically said 2 sheets to the wind.
One of her most controversial moves was claiming she lost weight with Copilot, when in reality, she was using Wegovy.
Lost about 100 pounds. And in January, I stopped losing weight. I was taking Wegovy. I know I've never talked about my medication before, but it is important to the story. So I'm going to talk about it here, and I'm not endorsing anything. You should go see your doctor for any medical treatment. It's just important to the storyline.
Today, we're diving deep into the story of Anna O'Brien, the influencer who's raising more red flags than awareness. So, let's get started. Anna is a 37-year-old social media influencer from Austin who originally gained fame through her empowering, body positive, and quirky TikTok videos. She emerged on the platform in 2018 as a fat icon or a fat activist who documented her daily life, her fashion choices, and travel experiences on social media. Her videos showed her as a carefree, fun-loving, and confident woman who was enjoying her life and having a blast despite weighing over 600 pounds. When she first started out, she was in the same league as TikTok's other fat activists. If you are unaware of this term, let us give you a little rundown. In recent years, TikTok and social media platforms in general have seen an increased number of fat influencers who are trying to push the idea that being morbidly obese and extremely overweight is completely natural. They hate discussing topics like diet and health and focusing on telling their viewers that there is nothing unhealthy about obesity. While the fat liberation movement must have done some good for the plus-size community, its negative impact on public health is enormous.
I hate the word mid-size. I fucking hate it. Literally, the only reason it exists is to distance people from fatness. And I mean that in a way that it is used to distance people from fatness because fat phobia is still a very real thing, even within the body positivity movement. I mean, we all know the body positivity movement is a co-opted neoliberal version of fat liberation politics. So that's not surprising. But here I am arguing with other fat people to deal with our internalized fat phobia. It's okay to be fat. It is just something that is. And so before you use a hashtag or a word, I'm not telling you how to identify, but I'm asking that you really think about why is mid-size preferable to small fat or plus size? Is it because it gives you more desirability? And there are legitimate reasons for the use of that word because fat has been so weaponized. I just want people to think.
If we're to be honest, these fat icons are a plague upon society, as their entitlement has reached the roof in recent years. Some plus-sized influencers like J-Bay are so entitled that they're asking hotels and facilities to widen their hallways and rebuild their entire infrastructure to accommodate their fat existence.
These are the exact steps that hotels can take to be more size inclusive and accessible for travelers of all sizes. Number 1 on the list, provide sturdy, wider chairs without armrests. Number 2 on the list, ensure beds with strong support and a higher weight capacity. Number 3, make elevators and hallways spacious. Number 4, install grab bars in showers and near toilets. Number 5, train staff to be respectful, understanding, and accommodating to travelers of all sizes. Number 6, provide pool lifts and handrails at the entry of the pool. Number 7, hotel restaurants should have roomy seating options. Number 8, offer larger beach and pool seating. Number 9, hotels should provide size-inclusive bathrobes. And hotels should also provide bath sheets or plus-size friendly towels so that travelers of all sizes and abilities can use them comfortably. And last but not least, display clear and accurate information on these amenities on hotel websites. Include weight limits, seat dimensions, and things like that. By implementing these size-inclusive hotel amenities, hotels can become more inclusive and accommodating. Be sure to hit that follow button for more plus-size travel tips.
Anna started out on social media just like any other plus-size influencer, pushing the idea that being obese was completely natural and completely normal, and that diet cannot help some people. And she started posting vibrant, joyful, confident videos of herself, telling everyone that she loved her body and was living the best time of her life. However, this did not last very long.
There will always be someone on the internet to tell you why you're just not good enough, right? But it doesn't matter what some random stranger thinks about you. What matters is how you make people feel. So make someone feel great today.
Her mask started to slip in 2020 when she finally took a step to address her problem her excessive weight was causing her. She uploaded a very emotional video to her YouTube channel, and she also decided that she might go on a weight loss journey. Well, she was a little hesitant when she shared this idea to her audience to begin with, or at least that's how she seemed. Well, because let's be honest, the idea of weight loss or the idea of losing weight is not very well appreciated in the plus size community, given that they make their plus size bodies their entire personality, no offense, and they're like cashing in on promoting their morbidly obese body. Not only that, they motivate others to not lose weight, to make unhealthier decisions, unhealthier food choices, and shorten their lifespans. Well, no wonder why Anna was a little hesitant to start and promote this idea in her channel. But let's see how this goes.
Nowadays, weight is such a loaded question in the plus size community, and very rarely is it discussed without some type of judgment. Same with fitness and same with diet. Those words, weight, diet, and fitness, are probably the heaviest words a plus size person will face in their entire life.
In this video, she sounds pretty motivated and genuine. It is very evident that she truly wants to lose her weight and motivate people in her fan base to do the same. But here's the fact about Anna. She has a talent for sounding very authentic and genuine, but doing the most delusional and entitled things later on. After Anna publicly expressed her desire to lose weight, many expected a shift in her content, hoping for more videos documenting her weight loss journey and healthier lifestyle choices. Instead, the topic was met with near total silence across all of her social media platforms. While Anna did share a few videos proving she was genuinely working out, there was little to no mention of any dietary or proto-lifestyle changes. In fact, she repeatedly emphasized that she had no intention of following a restrictive diet, arguing that such extreme diets were just as unhealthy and toxic as constant overeating.
A long time where I would put a lot of weird restrictions on my diet, a lot of weird restrictions on my behaviors, and then I would be like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, and I would eat a whole bunch of crap because I felt like I'd been denied. And that's not a realistic life, right? That's not a fair life. That's not a good life. In fact, that's just as toxic as eating crap 24/7, right? It's just a different type of toxicity.
Now let us explain what's wrong with this video. It's obvious that Anna is attempting some serious high-impact exercises, but aside being morbidly obese, Anna also has lipedema, a chronic condition that causes fat buildup in the legs and around the knees. This makes her lower body significantly larger and more sensitive to pressure. Given this, the safest and most effective way for her to lose weight would be through consistent lifestyle and dietary changes. Experts generally advise against high-impact workouts for people like Anna, as they can put serious strain on the joints and lead to injury. On top of that, intense physical exertion at her weight could lead to cardiovascular complications. When Anna posted this video and gave viewers a glimpse into her routine, people were not only shocked, but genuinely concerned. Still, despite all the criticism and concern for her health, Anna continued to downplay the importance of diet. In several of her videos, she claimed she wasn't on a restrictive diet at all, and that she intended to lose weight through workouts alone.
A whole bunch of goals earlier in the beginning of the year to really just work towards having a healthier version of myself, right? I like to call it my most capable self, because I'm not looking for a certain weight or a certain ability. I'm looking to be able to be capable of doing the things I really want to do in life. And so I set some goals that I thought would set me on that journey. Now, I'm going to be very real with you. I don't remember all of the goals I set. And I think that's part of the problem, is I just set too many goals. And I realized oftentimes with like diet culture and kind of like health culture in general, we tend to like push this like all or nothing, change your whole lifestyle at once mantra, and then it's not achievable. So I did try to go like halfway on this when I was setting my goals, but I still think I went too far. I think really at the end of at all. I focused on 2 things and I did those 2 things really, really well. And everything else was just a little bit overwhelming. So what did I actually do? So I am happy to report I did actually work out for 100 days. In fact, as this video drops, it will be 100, I just burped. It will be 107 days happened. But I basically had a reality check in Hawaii. I like to think of myself as fairly active. I like to think of myself as strong, especially since now I've been working out pretty much, actually, not pretty much, actually, every single day since January 1st. You know, I thought I was, I don't know, in perfect shape. Not perfect shape, but I thought I was like much further down the road than I was. And what I realized in Hawaii is that I'm not. Yeah. Couple months, I felt very disassociated and unconnected to my body and very frustrated with my body. And I felt mad at my body. Like, just to be really honest, I felt mad that it won't change in the way I want to. I felt mad that I've made all these changes and I don't feel like it's...
But the thing is, these workouts were not really working for her, no matter how much she tried to endorse them. Between the moments of fake positivity and joyful confidence, her mask often slipped as she gave people tiny glimpses of her sad life on her YouTube channel. From time to time, she posted videos on her channel discussing how she was failing to make any real progress with her weight, despite doing everything she could and even hiring a team of professionals. Despite having...
Yeah, that sucks. I knew I needed to film this just so I could see the progress after surgery, but I didn't. And so I began to work very, very hard on getting into shape and getting and pushing myself really beyond the limits that I should have. And that's a very honest response. And I always just felt extremely tired. So, but I kept pushing. And I would push myself so hard that oftentimes after a really big thing that I pushed through, I would need 2 days, sometimes a week to recover, which is not normal. It's not normal, but I thought it was normal because I kept hearing from this audience that it was because I was lazy. And I would say to people in my life that I'm so out of shape, I need to get better in shape, this shouldn't affect me as much. And I would say that all the time, and I would literally like beat myself up for not being in shape enough. That it won't change in the way I want to. I felt mad that I've made all these changes and I don't feel like it's working in the way I wanted it to. And then I spent an entire month eating shit and like being lazy as hell, and my body pretty much stayed the same as it did when I worked out a lot and ate super healthy. And that is made that feeling even worse. And I realized that something wasn't right, and there were things I wasn't allowing myself to feel. So I remember sitting there, 18 blankets on me, Data next to me, thinking like, this is how I die, and feeling like I had no one in Austin that cared about me enough.
Despite having multiple failed attempts, Anna refused to revise her strategy, as she was pretty certain that her diet had nothing to do with her obesity. To be honest, we don't think Anna was actually doing everything she could to lose weight. Anna O'Brien became vocal about her desire to lose weight nearly 4 years ago. However, in all that time, her social media offers little to no real documentation of consistent or genuine efforts toward that goal. Instead, her journey has followed a repetitive pattern. She makes bold claims about lifestyle changes, posts motivational videos about feeling stronger and more agile, and then months later, tearfully admits on camera that she hasn't made any progress. Take, for example, a video she posted after a trip to Hawaii, where she tearfully described falling in the sand as a wake-up call. According to Anna, that moment made her realize she wasn't as far along in her weight loss journey as she had believed.
How much my body hurt trying to film swim and how little I could keep up with them. There is a point, I don't think it was captured on camera because I literally screamed, turn off the freaking cameras. I didn't say frickin', I said something else because I was so ashamed, where I was walking in some pretty wet sand and my feet were kind of slipping into the sand, maybe about a half a foot, maybe even a foot in some cases. And I couldn't physically lift my legs out of the sand. They were so exhausted and so tired.
After watching this video, everyone was wondering what made Anna believe that she was making any progress with her weight. Because we, as viewers, did not find any evidence of progress in her videos. If you go to her TikTok or YouTube and scroll through the videos of that time, you will only find content related to plus-sized fashion, travel experiences, and even food. There was not a single video discussing Anna's health goals or the changes she claimed she made. However, what we did find was a video of her trying out calorie-heavy street food with another influencer, and this video was posted just months before her trip to Hawaii.
Falling over on the sand, saying a whole bunch of swear words and crying. It didn't actually help me get out of the sand, but I think the emotional release helped me eventually get up. But this happened a couple times where something simple like walking in the sand was so daunting and so overwhelming that I literally...
There is also a video of her having a full-blown meltdown over a bagel.
They messed it up. It's not even the right bagel. It's not even the right cream cheese. It's oat. It's an oat bagel with, I'm not exactly sure. I think it's veggie cream cheese. So like, somebody else probably has my order. This is probably somebody else's bagel. Well, what a way to end this video. I walked 2 damn miles in pain for a bagel. Didn't even get the right bagel. I don't think you guys know how hard that was for me. And I'm like, I don't know whether to cry or laugh because God, sometimes you just can't win. Sometimes you just can't win. Well, I walked 2 miles for a bagel and I guess I didn't get it. Well, I'm gonna go figure out what this is. I'm afraid because I literally don't know what cream cheese it is, and I'm like, I don't want to try it on camera because I don't know what it is. Straight up, I don't know what this person ordered that I got. So I'm just gonna go and make peace with this.
Of course, what Anna chooses to eat is completely her own choice. But repeatedly telling her audience that she's struggling to lose weight despite making real changes in her lifestyle and diet, while not transparently sharing what real changes she's making, is misleading. With over 8.4 million followers on TikTok, many of whom also live with lipedema or similar chronic conditions, Anna has a platform that concerns with serious responsibility, suggesting that people with lipedema can't achieve weight loss through sustainable dietary or lifestyle interventions. Not only spreads misinformation, but also incredibly disheartening for those trying to manage their health.
It's dark! Pumpkin spice latte season? It's my Roman Empire. And since I'm partnering with Starbucks, I'm completely justified in making it my entire personality. If it's not pumpkin shaped, pumpkin scented, or pumpkin inspired, I don't want it. Sure, it might be 104 degrees, but in my heart, it's a crisp 57, partially cloudy. Some people might call this delusional. I call it a commitment to the aesthetic. Real pumpkin spice latte girlies, they get it. They get it. You're the only thing that matters. Totally worth it.
While Anna's delusional attitude already rubbed many people on the internet the wrong way, what came next was far more troubling. In 2023, viewers began to notice something different about her appearance. Anna was clearly losing weight and starting to look noticeably more toned. Compared to her earlier videos, there was a significant difference in her body structure. Longtime followers, familiar with her journey, became curious. What had changed? What was she doing differently? But if there's one thing Anna isn't known for, it's transparency. Rather than being upfront with her audience, she chose to take a different route. One that raised even more eyebrows. Instead of openly sharing her weight loss strategy, she decided to collaborate with a brand called Co-Pilot and credit her transformation to their fitness programs. This partnership became her main talking point. According to Anna, her results had nothing to do with dieting or medications. It was all thanks to these intense Co-Pilot workouts. She released her first video promoting Co-Pilot in May 2023. In the video, Anna claimed that she had grown tired of traditional fitness advice and personal trainers and was now putting her full trust into the Co-Pilot platform. But it didn't take a trained eye to recognize that this was a brand endorsement. Her delivery felt scripted, artificial, and overly rehearsed, like she was reading from a PR-approved pitch. What should have been a personal story of transformation turned into a poorly disguised advertisement.
So y'all know I'm on a health journey. Duh. If you've missed it on my channel, I don't know how. And one of the things that's been really important about, this phase of my health journey is rebuilding my strength, my endurance, and my mobility. And I knew taking this challenge on that I couldn't really do it alone. In fact, everybody around me who's been supporting me in the other parts of my health journey were like, you can't do this alone. I needed a trainer. But I had had a terrible experience with a trainer in the past where he basically told me that I was lazy because I couldn't adjust my schedule to fit the very awkward times he had available, and therefore I was going to be a failure. And it made me feel like crap. So I was not looking for that experience again, to be really honest, and I was a little shy about it. Well, then I heard about Co-Pilot, and I was like, okay, this might work for me.
Following that initial video, Anna posted several others showing herself engaged in high-strength, high-impact workouts, jumping, lifting, and sweating it out. Again and again, she credited Co-Pilot for her weight loss, repeatedly suggesting that no major dietary changes were involved. Her message was clear. Intense workouts were all you needed.
One of the things I've been doing with my warm-up is I increase the ramp or the incline. And then a tricep extension, which is above the head, with just one 15-pound weight for 12 reps.
However, many of her long-term viewers did not buy it. Something did not quite add up. The speed and the extent of her weight loss seemed a bit too unnatural and extreme to be exercise alone, and given her history of being against diet culture, it definitely seemed a bit suspicious. Well, the followers did their digging, and what they uncovered added a whole new layer to the story. Let me tell you why. In April 2023, just a month before her Co-Pilot video, she was on a podcast where she discussed her health, her weight loss journey, and various other personal topics.
One of the biggest misconceptions I think people have about me is that I eat all the time or something. I actually often have to remind myself to eat. I work all the time. I have a very busy and active lifestyle.
But the real bombshell wasn't anything she said. It was the sponsor of the podcast. The episode was backed by Novo Nordisk, a pharmaceutical company best known for producing weight loss medications like Ozempic and Wegovy. This discovery set off alarms. For months, Anna had insisted she wasn't dieting and had made no major changes aside from exercise. But now it appeared she had ties to a company deeply involved in the weight loss drug industry. This led many to believe that Anna had in fact been using weight loss medication and had deliberately hidden it from her followers. And to be clear, There is nothing wrong with using medical interventions to address obesity. Weight loss medications and surgeries are valid tools that help many people live healthier lives, but lying about it, especially by profiting off misleading fitness endorsements, is another matter entirely. As a major content creator with a platform that reaches thousands struggling with obesity and body image, Anna's deception carries serious consequences. First, she spread the harmful idea that extreme weight loss can happen without any dietary changes, just by working out with an app. Second, she sent the message to her followers, many of whom are overweight or obese, that they should dive into intense workouts like running, jump rope, and cardio, despite the medical risks. The reality is, experts do not recommend high-impact workouts for people with obesity or lipedema. These exercises can cause joint damage, cardiovascular stress, and serious injury. What Anna is promoting isn't just misleading, it's potentially dangerous. By hiding the real factors behind her weight loss and pushing a false narrative, she's not misinforming her audience. She's putting their health at risk. Unfortunately, Copilot isn't the only questionable brand Anna has promoted on her YouTube channel, which boasts over 2 million subscribers. Around the same time, she was reportedly taking weight loss medication to lose weight. She also released a video discussing her go-to snacks when she feels hungry. But instead of sharing genuinely healthy, balanced food choices, Anna showcased a lineup of ultra-processed, pricey packaged products from the brand Quest.
That way I never get tired of something.
She didn't just casually mention the brand. She went all in, praising Quest to be her favorite snack brand, implying that these processed snacks were a part of her healthy weight loss routine. But the red flags just didn't stop there, because in the same video, she also came up with yet another shocking claim, apparently given by her running coach. Apparently, her running coach advised her to eat McDonald's before going for a run. And as insane as that sounds, apparently she's following it.
Clear. No food is bad. Listen, before my run earlier this week, I ate Oreos. Was that the best choice? Maybe not, but I still did it and I don't have any shame for it. Something I learned from my running coach that I did not know before is that when Usain Bolt won his medal, he literally ate 100 chicken nuggets the days up until that race because all he would eat is McDonald's. So if someone can win a gold medal eating McDonald's,
The statement alone likely sent shockwaves through the fitness and wellness community. Regardless of how Anna spins it, it's hard to believe that any certified experienced running coach would recommend fast food as optimal pre-run fuel. The suggestion is not just outlandish, it's potentially harmful to her impressionable audience. To be clear, the issue isn't that Anna promotes brands. Many influencers do. The real problem lies in her lack of transparency and her habit of repeatedly presenting an unrealistic version of health and wellness. For viewers, especially those who are plus-sized or dealing with chronic health conditions like lipedema, watching someone appear to lose weight while eating processed snacks and fast food can be incredibly misleading. It creates a false narrative. If she can eat this and still lose weight, why can't I? The reality is, meaningful weight loss, especially for those with lipedema, requires thoughtful dietary planning and medical oversight. No one can realistically expect to manage a complex condition or shed pounds sustainably while fueling up on fast food and ultra-processed snacks. Presenting this lifestyle as effective or healthy is not only irresponsible, but sets a dangerously flawed example for thousands of viewers. But Anna didn't stop at physical health misinformation. Around the same time she was pushing Copilot and Quest, she also dipped into mental health space with equally questionable execution. In one particularly awkward video, she partnered with BetterHelp, claiming the platform helped her get through a rough patch after one of her photos went viral. On paper, this might sound sincere, but in reality, the video felt scripted, disingenuous, and painfully forced. It lacked the raw authenticity you'd expect from someone discussing mental health struggles.
As you guys might remember, pre-pandemic, I took a beautiful photo of myself on a beach in Cuba. This is the photo, if you don't remember. And it did really, really well considering I was not a super famous creator at that time. And a brand reached out to me, and I'm not going to say the brand's name, and asked if they could repost this image on their page and use it in advertising. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. Baby Anna was not smart about getting paid or image rights or anything like that. And I gave that image up for free, literally just because I was excited that a brand like them wanted to showcase a bigger body. And I've since learned that anytime you work with a brand, there comes certain, potential consequences, and that's part of the reason you get compensated. But that's a whole other story. So this brand ended up using that image in an ad just on social media. And for some reason, the trolls of the internet were especially aggressive that day. I reached out to BetterHelp because that's what I could afford at the time, and that's what I started using. It's kind of weird because today's video is actually sponsored by BetterHelp, and it just ended up timing out perfectly that this story came back up after literally 5 years.
Again, the issue isn't with the brand partnerships themselves. Influencers need to make a living, and promoting products is a part of the deal. But when the products being promoted are misleading, potentially harmful, or presented in a way that distorts reality, especially to vulnerable viewers, that's when the line is crossed. At this point, it became increasingly clear that Anna's primary motivation was monetization, not supporting or informing her audience. For someone with such a massive platform and a fan base that includes people struggling with obesity, body image, and chronic health issues, this kind of behavior is more than disappointing. It's disheartening. For months, speculation swirled around Anna's sudden transformation. Many suspected she must be on some form of weight loss medication.
I also take medication for Hashimoto's, anemia, vitamin deficiencies, fibroids, and anxiety in case treating those also enrages you. I've said this before and I'll say it again, health is complicated. There isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. I waited 9 months before starting this medication. I didn't do it lightly and investigated all my options before making the decision. Furthermore, it's not a magical solution, but part of a larger managed plan which includes massive changes to my long-term diet, regular weight training, therapy, and movement for enjoyment. I wasn't trying to keep it a secret, I just didn't want anyone else's opinions on it until I made up my own. Heck, I've only been on it for about 3 months, and it's still a new part of my story. Also, let me be very clear, I won't recommend it to other people because I am not a doctor. Just like I don't give diet advice because I'm not a dietitian, and I don't give workout advice because I'm not a personal trainer. In short, your health should be you and your doctor's business. So if this was posted in July, and she was only on it for 3 months at the time, that means she started it in April. Yeah, roughly. Which is when that podcast went up on the Novo Nordisk.
Given how quickly and dramatically her body was changing, she never confirmed or denied it, until finally, in July 2023, she admitted in an Instagram post that she was in fact taking weight loss medication. But even this reveal felt like a slap in the face to their followers. For someone with such a massive platform and a fan base that includes people struggling with obesity, body image, and chronic health issues, this kind of behavior is more than disappointing. Instead of addressing the matter directly on YouTube, TikTok, or through a thoughtful discussion, Anna dropped the bombshell casually in a single Instagram post, with no follow-up, no video explanation, and no accountability. For an influencer who built her brand on relatability and sharing her journey, this secretive move felt like a betrayal. Her audience had watched her struggle for years. She had constantly spoken about the emotional and physical toll of obesity and how difficult it was to lose weight. Yet, when she finally found something that worked, a legitimate solution, she kept it hidden. And while she was hiding this, she continued pumping out content filled with high-intensity workouts, questionable snack recommendations, and tone-deaf wellness tips, none of which reflected the actual method behind her transformation.
One of the things that's been really important about, this phase of my health journey is rebuilding my strength, my endurance, and my mobility. Really, really love, and it is called Wild Protein Chips.
In the video, the issue wasn't that Anna used weight loss medication. It's that she lied by omission, created false hope, and sold products that played no real role in her journey. Her story could have been empowering, honest, and helpful. Instead, it became a case study in influencer dishonesty and misplaced priorities. After this, Anna's content took a turn for the worse, spiraling from mildly questionable to outright baffling. Amidst endless fashion hauls and travel vlogs, she would occasionally toss in an update about her so-called weight loss journey. But these updates didn't offer insight, inspiration, or accountability. Instead, they became increasingly bizarre and disconnected from reality.
I'm coming at you live from Finland. I'm literally in a remote village in kind of the middle of nowhere, but it is absolutely beautiful. And what I'm realizing for this experience is that as little as like 3 months ago, I never would have been able to do this. And I think on my health journey, I've been updating you guys fairly regularly.
One of the strangest chapters came in when Anna suddenly became obsessed with running a marathon, a 5K marathon. Apparently, this was her way of regaining strength in her body. And though we're not sure what it actually means because this was completely left vague by her, and we're just assuming what she's going to do.
To long-time viewers, it was crystal clear that this wasn't about health to strength. It was just another look at me stunt. The kind where Anna does something wildly inappropriate for her physical condition and then expects the internet to shower her with praise and applause.
Constantly surprised at what I'm capable of when I put myself in the situation to try.
We're gonna fix your walk as well. Not just make you a good runner, but make you a good walk.
This just gives me hope that there's like still so much more. Because sometimes you wonder like, okay, I've been at this for a year, which I know technically a year is not a long time, but like it feels like a long time.
Yeah.
And I think this is just coming at the perfect time for me to like just keep moving forward, because this does, especially with getting on that treadmill, feels a little bit impossible.
Before diving deeper into this 5K saga, let's review a few facts. Anna reportedly weighs close to 600 pounds. She has lipedema, a chronic condition that severely affects the legs and causes intense pain, swelling, and mobility issues. She has spoken openly about her struggles with walking, standing for long periods, and navigating stairs. Given these realities, who in their right mind would encourage her to run a 5K marathon? Despite every red flag imaginable, Anna pulled ahead with the plan. She framed it as some kind of empowering, physically uplifting, but viewers couldn't help but cringe. A morbidly obese person running on a track isn't just unusual, it's downright dangerous. Tripping, falling, or experiencing joint strain, or even cardiac stress could lead to serious injuries or worse. But when it comes to Anna, common sense often takes a backseat. And that's the problem. No one can knock sense into her. Anna has created an online world where only praise is welcome. Her fan base is expected to cheer her unconditionally, refer to her as a queen, and applaud every choice, no matter how unwise. If anyone dares to raise concerns or offer constructive criticism, they're often met with hostility, sarcasm, or worse, getting blocked altogether. One particular incident during her running journey exposed just how entitled she had become. While practicing on the track, a bystander, likely just trying to be nice, called out "good job" to encourage her. Most people would smile or nod at the gesture, but not Anna. She took offense at that comment. interpreting it as patronizing. Then she recorded a video angrily calling the woman out.
I'm crying for a silly reason. Somebody stopped me on the trail while I was walking, just doing my cool down. I was doing like intervals today, so like I walk in between. And she's like, "Good job getting out there." And it just felt so dehumanizing. It felt so shitty. And I just am having a bad day anyway. I came out here to run to try to feel better. And I know this person was well-intentioned, but man, it felt shitty. It felt really bad. I already know I'm going to get a ton of DMs being like, she's well-intentioned. But you know what? I am about to start my period. I'm hormonal AF. And I'm going to be really honest here. That woman saw me and assumed that I was entirely out of shape and that it was my first day on the trail. And that's because she has preconceived views of what a plus-size body is and is not able to do. And as a person who's out here every freaking day trying to change that perspective.
This moment reveals a lot. For someone who craves for validation, and a person like Anna for sure knows how to twist the kindest words into spew of poison. And despite the growing concern of her own safety and health, Anna was surprisingly determined to run this 5K no matter what. So she partnered with a professional training organization called the Run Lab and launched a mini YouTube series documenting her running journey. So let's see how this goes.
Told me to dress Christmassy for PT and more passion, more energy.
At Run Lab Boston, I'm learning how to use my glutes when running, and this will make sure I run safer and faster.
I can feel my glutes. I can feel my glutes.
In the first episode, Anna visited the Run Lab facility and met with athletic professionals. They asked her to walk on a treadmill to assess her form. The results were shocking, but not in the way Anna hoped. According to specialists, Anna wasn't even bending her knees properly when she walked. That's right, she had to relearn how to walk before even thinking about running.
The Olympics for speed walking, you technically do a double stance.
So I'm technically just walking.
You are super speed walk.
Look at me, I'm a fastest walker. No, I'm not. But
There is nothing wrong with that.
so that's not jogging or running.
Technically, no.
Okay, I have never run or jogged.
Now, I also have a inclination that you were not very comfortable on the treadmill.
No, I hate the treadmill.
So I have a feeling you may be on the verge of a jog, like on the regular road.
So I thought I was going to learn that I've never run in my life, but what I actually learned today is that I've never jogged either, or may not have jogged. We're about to find out if I actually can jog, so let's find out together.
Still undeterred, Anna released a second video chronicling her efforts to correct her gait and train for a future run. She showcased clips of walking exercises and shared commentary about her progress. But anyone watching could see the truth. Despite the upbeat music and forced optimism, she was still struggling with basic movement. The goal of running a 5K at this stage seemed more like a bad idea than a serious goal.
Had me show him my walk and also show him the progress I'd made using the PT exercises I had been doing since our last visit.
So, I am super proud of you. You are not hyperextending your knees anymore. Right?
To add to the absurdity, she took viewers shopping for custom-made running shoes, expensive ones, of course, recommended by her Run Lab therapists, rather than acknowledging that her body needed rest, healing, or medically guided progress. Anna acted as if these fancy shoes could magically get her across the finish line. In the third and final episode of her running series, Anna proudly announced that she was finally ready to run a 5K. Sounds like a big moment, right? Well, not so fast, because up until that point, no one had actually seen her run. The most we saw was a tiny clip of her speed walking in the distance. No close-ups, no proof, just a blurry power walk.
I have always been told I can't run. I know I'm not going to be fast. I know that I'm not going to win.
But that didn't stop Anna. She signed up for the marathon and acted like her running journey had reached its peak. She said training at Run Lab had helped her get there, even though she never saw the actual getting there part. Then, right before the big race, she casually mentioned she had a recurring knee injury that caused her pain. Yes, pain in her knee. The one part of your body you really need for, running.
I have this knee injury that I am working through. And we got about, I guess this is about 2 1/4 in, and I'm just starting to have some pain. The way they told me is to keep going if it's below a 4. So I'm right on that border right now, and I'm trying to call it. I'm gonna try to stretch my leg out a little bit, as I did earlier, and that kind of helped, and see if I can get the pain to go away a little bit. So we'll see.
This made a lot of people ask the obvious question. Why is she putting her body through this? No one asked her to run a marathon, but if you followed Anna long enough, you know she loves doing dramatic things just to prove a point or to get people talking. It's kind of her thing. So after weeks of hype, she finally showed up to the race, and guess what? She did not run. She walked the entire thing.
A little bit of anxiety.
Yeah.
Do you feel that?
Yeah. I feel like it's a lot harder than it normally is. So
it's the people, it's the energy, it's something different.
Now, walking a 5K is still a big deal, especially considering her health conditions. But the issue is that she kept calling it a run and acted like she crushed some impossible fitness goals. However, viewers weren't so convinced.
When people see me run, they like to tell me I'm slow. And they're right, I am slow. I am a very slow runner and will probably be a slow runner for a very long time. And while many of these people think I should just give up and not run at all I can think about is all the wonderful things slow running has done for me. It's helped me manage my mental health. It's helped me build better habits. It's given me a community. And I'm achieving things I never thought I'd be able to do. Fast will come. But right now, I'm okay being slow.
After all that build-up and emotional storytelling, the series just ended. No more videos about her running, no new goals, no follow-ups with her trainers. It was like the whole thing never happened. Just another phase in Anna's long list of inspiration arcs that vanished the second camera stopped rolling. The truth is, finishing a 5K even by walking is something to be proud of. But pretending it was all about running while hiding injuries and skipping over important details isn't helpful or honest. In the end, we are glad that this arc ended at the right time and did not continue for long. While we did not see more running videos from Anna, we did see another long, sobbing and exhausting video where Anna was shedding light on the fact that Wegovy, the weight loss medication she was taking, was no longer working for her.
So, I have lost about 100 pounds. And in January, I stopped losing weight. I was taking Wegovy. I know I've never talked about my medication before.
What's weird is that, up until this point, nobody had heard Anna talking one-on-one with her audience about taking weight loss pills. She did share a random Instagram post, but this was the first time she was actually talking in front of the camera, opening up about going on Wegovy. In this brief video, Anna disclosed that she had been taking Wegovy for nearly 8 months. While the drug gave her excellent results in the start, as all of us could see, and improved her mobility and fitness, it had suddenly stopped working for her. Anna said that she lost over 100 pounds in these 8 months, but the drug was no longer helping her lose any more weight, despite the fact she was following a strict diet and training hard.
So, I have lost about 100 pounds. And in January, I stopped losing weight. I was taking Wegovy. I know I've never talked about my medication before, but it is important to the story. So I'm going to talk about it here, and I'm not endorsing anything. You should go see your doctor for any medical treatment. It's just important to the storyline. So I'd been on the Wegovy for about, I'm gonna say 8 months, and I just stopped losing weight. And I was keeping around an 1,800 to 2,000 calorie diet, and I was training for my 5K. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it down below just so you can get an idea of like what I was doing. And that was weird, that was unusual. And I was tracking just like everything according to what I needed to be my best and healthiest self. And so it was very frustrating.
What stands out here is the fact that during all the time that she was on Wegovy, she never once mentioned being on a calorie deficit diet. She literally promoted eating McDonald's and highly processed junk all this time, and here she is claiming that she was actually on an 1800 or 2000 calorie diet. If it's true, how come she never mentioned this on her channel, TikTok, or Instagram? All we saw during this time was stupid brand deals, fashion hauls, and unnecessary marathons. If the purpose of Anna's online presence is to help her viewers, how come she fails to share crucial details related to her weight loss journey with her audience and only manages to make sobbing appearance on YouTube when things go wrong? As the video went on, Anna shared that her doctor had even increased her dose of the weight loss medication, but it backfired, giving her bad allergic reaction. She said she'd visited several doctors about lipedema, and every single one supposedly warned her, saying that she was on the verge of losing her mobility. According to Anna, she was now off the meds and dealing with the worst body pain of her life. Pain so intense, it was affecting her mobility, productivity, and health in a big way.
Really feel the condition in my body in a way, like I always had some pain. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I have a really high pain tolerance, and that is just a symptom of the life I've lived. But this was new and this was hard, and it felt as if I had regressed all the way back. The first week I was off it, I started to just have pain in my legs, feeling like a giant bruise. Data couldn't lie next to me, couldn't lie on my lap. The second week I was off it, I started to have difficulties like walking distances. You know, for me, walking 5 to 6 miles in a day was pretty normal. It was something I did, you know, at least that's what my Apple Watch told me. And now I was walking like 2-3 miles and things started to really hurt. In 1 week, I am having surgery to address my lipedema. I am trying to smile through it and I am trying to live through it, but I am crying a lot. I can't help feeling like a failure. And I know sharing this, I am going to get shredded online. I know that is what so many people are gonna do. I'm not the problem. The condition is the problem. And that's hard because like, as a bigger body, you're just gaslit your whole life to feel like you're the problem.
She posted this video to announce that she'd finally decided to get surgery for her lipedema. In her words, the condition was the only reason she could no longer lose weight.
I saw several doctors, and we'll talk about that in a different video, but I did see several doctors, and every single one of them said the same thing, which was that I was very close to losing mobility, which was extremely shocking to me because I felt great, but I'm not the problem. The condition is the problem. And that's hard because like, as a bigger body, you're just gaslit your whole life to feel like you're the problem.
Now, before we get into the details of the surgery, let's address one of the most baffling claims in the video. Anna said she only has lipedema fat left on her body. That's the explanation she gave for her stalled weight loss. But even someone with zero fitness knowledge can tell that's just not true. Over and over on Instagram, she's claimed that most of her fat is from lipedema and is unburnable, which sounds more like an excuse than a medical fact. To be clear, getting lipedema surgery can be a valid and helpful choice, and no one is dragging her for that. What's frustrating is a cloud of misinformation she wraps it in. Anna repeatedly blames her pain, inflammation, and mobility issues entirely on lipedema, making it sound like surgery is her only shot at a better life. But considering how often she ignored the role of diet and refused to take real responsibility for her obesity, This narrative feels hard to buy. Instead of acknowledging that her own choices may have contributed to her condition, Anna now acts like lipedema is the one and only reason for everything. But doing that, she overlooks simpler, more accessible approaches like balanced eating and regular movement, and sends a confusing message to anyone dealing with the similar health struggles.
Inflammation a lot, so I did have a little bit, like actually a lot more mobility and less pain, but coming off of it has kind of really exposed how bad the condition is affecting the actual underlying fabric of my life. And the reality is like eventually the Wegovy will not be able to help solve this problem, so we need to deal with it before it gets to that point. So we did our own like kind of little video assessment. 2 weeks ago I could easily do this, but in coming off the medication, I can't even do the pose anymore. So
Fortunately, lipedema doesn't mean you can't lose weight. Plenty of people have proven otherwise through consistent diet and exercise. Telling viewers that surgery is the only solution isn't just misleading, it's seriously harmful. Another thing we really need to point out is this. While Anna claims that going off Wegovy has made her body pain worse and blames it entirely on her lipedema flaring up, her past actions suggest there's more to the story. Let's not forget, way back during her 5K marathon phase, she openly admitted to dealing with a recurring knee injury that was already causing her pain.
I have this knee injury that I am working through, and we got about, I guess this is about 2 1/4 in, and I'm just starting to have some pain. The way they told me is to keep going if it's below a 4. So
add to that the high-intensity workouts she was doing at that time, jumping, running, lifting, and it's not hard to connect the dots. She knew she was in pain. She knew these workouts were pushing her limits, and yet she kept doing them anyway.
You may not be where you want to be yet in life, but you're also not where you used to be. Take a second to realize how far you've come. Now put your head down and get back to killing it.
Now here she is, suddenly talking about unbearable joint pain and how her body is falling apart. And surprise, lipedema is the only reason according to her. Apparently the endless jumping and the self-inflicted strain had nothing to do with it. She's now using that pain to justify why surgery is her only viable option. And look, no one's denying she might be in pain. But what is making people raise their eyebrows is the timing and the insurance implications. A lot of viewers have started to believe that this sudden upstick in the worst pain of her life might be less about physical decline and more about checking boxes for insurance approval. Take, for example, her virtual consultation with the doctor, where she confidently claimed she had tried everything to manage her lipedema.
Purpose is so we can see if you have any functional limitations because of the lipedema. So we're going to be looking at things like your range of motion, your strength, cardiovascular fitness.
She listed dry brushing, compression gear, restrictive dieting, you name it. The only problem, we've never seen her mention any of this, not once. No clips of her dry brushing, no footage of her wearing compression garments, not even a casual TikTok mention. And the diet claim? That's an especially bold lie considering she spent months insisting she wasn't on a restrictive diet while taking Wegovy. So, to sum it up, Anna's sitting in a virtual doctor's visit, checking off every magic keyword insurance companies wants to hear, despite her public content showing the exact opposite. Whether she's in real pain or not, one thing is clear, she's definitely performing for someone, and this time, it might be her insurance provider.
Is really overwhelming for me. About 2 days ago, I tried to do pigeon pose, a stretch that I really used to love, and I physically can't even get my body into it anymore.
In her next video, Anna introduced her loyal team of doctors and announced that she'd be undergoing not 1, not 2, but 4 to 5 surgeries. Yup, buckle up, because we're now entering a multi-stage surgical journey arc. According to her, these procedures were being handled by specialists from ALT program, with Dr. David Amron leading the charge as the first to assess her condition. Now, here's where things started to feel off. From the very first clip, it was obvious that Dr. Amron wasn't exactly giving a neutral medical opinion. He was clearly speaking on Anna's behalf. The way he framed it, diet and exercise sometimes don't work for lipedema patients. And what a coincidence, Anna just happened to be one of those rare cases. Instead of a balanced medical discussion, it felt more like a PR video designed to justify her next big move. In this video, Dr. Amron seemed to validate every single thing Anna has been claiming for months. Now look, everything Dr. Amron said might be true. We're not medical professionals, and we're not here to give the final word on Anna's condition. But what we do have is a long trail of contradictions that suggests Anna hasn't exactly been doing everything she claims. She said she was addressing her condition seriously. She said she was on a restrictive diet. But then, she had a full-blown meltdown over a bagel just weeks after announcing her surgery. So, if she did try dieting, we're guessing it lasted about as long as her passion for running marathons. And let's be real, short bursts of dieting don't do much for someone who is morbidly obese. As for her infamous claim that she only has lipedema fat on her body, even her own doctor couldn't fully back that up. He agreed she had lipedema and was overweight.
Understand a person's body completely to understand where they are out of proportion and balance. Okay, so Anna is overweight.
In the same video, Anna also introduced a plastic surgeon who would be working alongside Dr. Amron to get her in shape. Nothing too shocking, except for Anna's behavior, which was, let's say, a little strange. Not surgery related, but definitely raised a few eyebrows.
Is my plastic surgeon.
Yes.
Dr. Mosrafi. He's really cool.
Thank you.
Tell the ladies, are you single?
The next video documented her first surgery, and while Anna kept insisting she was doing this to educate and spread awareness about lipedema, her actual content didn't feel very educational at all. On Instagram and TikTok, it was mostly filtered snapshots, surface-level updates, and oddly cheerful clips.
I have a condition called lipedema, and I am prepping for my next surgery, which is just a few days away. So my next surgery is on my arms and calves. And as part of that surgery, I'm getting something called a brachioplasty. A brachioplasty is actually where they remove the excess skin from your arms. I literally won't be able to put my hands above my head like.
Oh, I wasn't sad. I just needed a.
Sweet Caroline. The time never felt so good.
Her YouTube videos gave more details, yes, but they were filled with misinformation and gory visuals that frankly no one really asked for.
Anna, how you doing?
I am over here chatting with Chelsea.
Yeah, she's great. It's Courtney.
Have I a good plate for you, sir?
You're in a good place.
After the first surgery was done, Anna reported she was feeling great just minutes later.
It's vile how okay I feel after surgery. I'm alert. I'm a little bit shaky. I can't feel anything they're doing, which is weird. And getting the compression garment on was less work than I thought it was going to be. But then again, they put it on me.
For a brief moment, some people were hopeful. But here's the thing, liposuction, even for lipedema, only works if you follow it up with healthy lifestyle choices and diet. That's the only way to maintain the results. And if there is one thing we've learned by now, it's that Anna loves living in her own version of reality. Just weeks after her first surgery, she partnered with Starbucks to promote sugary, highly processed drinks all over her socials.
I can't believe I finally get to do this. This is the first time I've been cleared to exercise since surgery.
And since I'm partnering with Starbucks, I'm going on a Starbucks run.
When called out, because yes, most people assume she should be on a post-op diet, she clapped back, saying she needed nourishment and not restrictive dieting. Right, what the body really craves after surgery is whipped cream and syrup. And this is the exact kind of behavior that got Anna into this mess in the first place. She knew she had lipedema for years. She ignored it until doctors warned her she might lose mobility. And now, even after surgery, she is shilling sugary drinks to her impressionable audience for the sake of a brand deal. At this point, it's beyond frustrating. It's irresponsible. Given all this, it's no surprise that even after 2 surgeries, there was no visible change in her size. She looked exactly the same. She barely posted anything about her second surgery, just a few passing TikToks. But later she admitted the second procedure was harder than the first.
From surgery number 2, don't go it alone. You don't need to be strong. You don't need to be superhero. You are there to heal. And I have a little bit of a superwoman complex. I can admit that. Like, I want to feel like I can do anything, and this I could not do alone.
Okay, straight up, I am about a couple hours post-surgery now, and I hurt. So I have a feeling that this recovery period is actually not going to go as smooth as the previous one. I don't think it's going to be unbearable. I don't think it's going to be something I can't deal with, but I'm already realizing that like every surgery is going to be different in terms of pain.
After her second surgery in October 2024, Anna introduced yet another medical expert into the storyline, Dr. Karen Hurst, head of the Advanced Lipedema Treatment Program. And just like all the other videos before it, this one came packed with more confusion than clarity. Anna told her audience that she was now undergoing high-altitude chamber treatments to reduce inflammation. Sounds fancy, right?
Let's do my first CVAC together. This is Dr. Herbst. She's literally the queen. If you don't know anything about lipedema, start with her.
So this is a CVAC system, and what it does is simulates different altitudes so you can help reduce your inflammation. Dr. Herbst, who heads up research at the Roxbury Institute, is the one overseeing my session. Here's what's going on inside there. Basically, it's simulating a higher altitude, which is causing my body to flush out toxins, and it's reducing my inflammation. Then it comes down from that altitude and brings in fresh air. You can see this kind of happening with this bag that we put inside the machine while it was running.
Ta-da! You did great. Honestly, I was fine. Oh, that was actually really cool. It's the future. I've only been out for about 5-ish minutes, and I can feel like stuff moving in my body, which is kind of cool. And I've already had to pee, which means my inflammation is going down. So far, it's a win for me, and I'm definitely gonna find a place in Austin so I can do this more regularly.
What she conveniently failed to mention was that this wasn't some widely accepted conservative treatment for lipedema. In fact, as content creator Sam at Every Size pointed out, these machines are prototypes with only 2 in the entire country. Yet Anna presented it as if it were the new go-to for anyone with lipedema.
She told her audience, who have told her that they also have lipedema, to go ahead and look into these altitude chamber treatments that she's been doing and how she's going to go ahead and add them as a regular part of her journey without telling them that it's an experimental procedure and there are only 2 prototypes in the entire United States.
This video also featured Dr. Karen using a variety of futuristic-looking gadgets and tools on Anna, none of which are standard at your average clinic or hospital. And let's be honest, most lipedema patients will never have access to these kinds of treatments. So the real question becomes, who was this video actually for? Because it certainly wasn't about providing realistic or helpful advice to people with the same condition.
You're so all me, Duda. You look so classically lipedema.
This is an app on your phone?
Yeah. Yep.
What?
Yeah. Yellow lines and the spots, those are...
Meanwhile, Anna was right back at it with her co-pilot workouts post-surgery. And if we were being real, She looked visibly uncomfortable, like she was pushing through pain just to prove something. But it didn't stop there. She also decided it was time to start running again. Was it necessary? Absolutely not. But Anna had a narrative to sell, that she was brave, unstoppable, and capable of doing anything an average-sized person could do, even if it came at the cost of her own health.
Today I am restarting Couch to 5K.
I've been doing mini runs to kind of test if I was ready. After a week of those runs, I feel like I'm good to go now.
Now, if you haven't heard of Couch to 5K, it's pretty simple how it works. It uses intervals of running and walking to prepare you to run a 5K. Now, it's set for like an 8-week plan, but I always take longer than that because it's totally okay to repeat weeks and go at your own pace. It's how a lot of people get started running, and it's really easy to track because there's tons of apps in the App Store to help you.
We finished, yay! Back is sore, calves are sore, but you know what? I did it.
Then came the trampoline. Yes, she actually bought a trampoline and proudly filmed herself jumping on it. Nothing says post-surgical healing quite like risking a serious fall for content.
I went all in. Okay, here goes nothing. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is kind of fun. 10 out of 10, no notes. Woo! It's a lot of fun. It's also working.
At the same time, Anna was still posting older videos from her Wegovy days to suggest she was making progress. But in her more recent clips, it was clear her body hadn't changed much and the surgeries hadn't delivered any visible transformation. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, she announced on TikTok that she was back on Wegovy, this time to help with inflammation.
Conditions and like lymphatic conditions. So I am personally going back on Wegovy. I'm not endorsing it. I think you should go to your doctor. I think you should make the right decision for you. There are lots of different GLP-1s. That's just the one that happens to work best for me. What I will say is, for me as a patient with lipedema, those medications have changed my life. They have given me the ability.
But many viewers weren't convinced. The timing, the lack of weight loss, and her return to medication all pointed out to a more likely reason. Anna needed to meet certain weight requirements to qualify for more surgeries. Anna's third surgery took place in January 2025, with the focus this time on reducing fat in her arms. She shared a couple of glimpses of the surgery with her audience, including shots of her lying on the surgery table.
My arm's done, which included a brachioplasty. And what this meant is simultaneously my legs and my arms were at a very, incapacitated state.
We also saw a few result-oriented videos where she was taking off her bandages and showing how her arms look noticeably smaller.
Tiny. Moshrafi. Moshrafi magic.
I mean, look at already have his definition of the muscle here in a way.
I have
so
muscle.
Yeah, you need a great result.
It's kind of insane. Like, it doesn't even look like my arm. Wait a minute. Are these mine? Super cute. They don't feel like mine.
In one video, she was visibly ecstatic because her arms could finally fit into an overall that hadn't fit before the surgery.
Before surgery, or it was really tight on my arms, so I never wore them. So I'm trying them all. And I'm gonna put them in my closet and make outfits with them. But I just tried this one on, and I'm so excited. I have had this cardigan for freaking ever, and it's never fit my arms, and now it does.
What stood out in this video was her over-the-top reaction to fitting into a sweater. And here's why that felt off. Anna has repeatedly stated that she isn't undergoing these surgeries for aesthetic reasons. According to her, the goal has always been improved mobility, increased strength, and reduced inflammation. But this kind of reaction suggests otherwise. Someone needs to remind Anna that there is nothing wrong with wanting a smaller body. or with acknowledging that her obesity might be contributing to her worsening lipedema. Yet, she seems to be in constant denial about the fact that weight loss could significantly help her regain mobility and manage her condition more effectively. At this point, it feels like she's caught between trying to sound body positive and actually addressing the health issues related to her obesity. And to be honest, she's struggling to do either effectively. In May 2025, Anna dropped another YouTube video documenting her fourth surgery. One odd detail this time was that the surgery didn't happen in Los Angeles. It was performed in Utah. Anna didn't share why she had to make this sudden change in location, but internet sleuths had their own theories. The most popular one was that it probably had something to do with the ALT program, the clinic she repeatedly mentioned. Now, Anna never outright said the surgery was sponsored. But let's be real, the signs were there. She kept plugging the ALT program. The clinic even uploaded her video to their TikTok. It doesn't take a marketing degree to know that screams partnership. And honestly, no one would be shocked if this whole surgery was comped. Anna has a pattern. She's promoted everything from co-pilot workouts to BetterHelp, and even her 5K marathon appearance turned into a promotional gig for Run Lab. All of this raises a bigger question. How necessary were these surgeries for Anna in the first place? It also makes everyone suspicious about the authenticity of these invasive procedures. Anna posted multiple TikToks around this time, smiling, singing, and acting like she was thriving. But in her YouTube video, a completely different story. She revealed that her recovery from her third surgery had been brutal. She had split stitches on her arms that caused open wounds and severely affected her mobility. One of her feet, she said, was constantly leaking and healing slower than expected. She also talked about the emotional toll it all had on her, mentioning that her second surgery had already left her mentally drained.
Really challenging to describe, and it's all relative, right? Everybody feels things differently. And I guess that's true for physical pain too, but I think people comprehend it better. My third surgery was really hard because I had a complication. I had what's called spitting stitches. Now, it is normal to have a couple of those, but I ended up spitting every single stitch of a certain type, which ended up creating about 35 different wounds on my arms, which required me to do a lot of wound care and to stop a lot of my activity to like the bare minimum, keeping my arms elevated and literally just not moving them to try to let those wounds heal. It's also why I started hyperbaric therapy, and it was rough.
And yet, scrolling through her TikTok from that exact time, you'd think she was on a wellness retreat, not recovering from what that sounds like a medical horror show. The disconnect between what she was posting and what she was actually experiencing was honestly kind of disturbing. And what is worse is the fact that she doesn't appear to be gaining much from putting her body through all this. A Reddit post compared images of Anna across all 4 surgeries, and the verdict was not good. Her calves and feet looked more swollen than ever. She appeared to have gained fat around her stomach, and there was noticeable sagging skin around her knees. Some users speculated that her lymphatic system might have been damaged due to the repeated liposuction, possibly leading to lymphedema on top of her existing lipedema. Let's break that down for a second. Lipedema is a chronic fat disorder where fat accumulates disproportionately, usually in the legs and arms. Lymphedema, on the other hand, involves a blockage in the lymphatic system, leading to the fluid buildup and severe swelling. It's often harder to treat and can lead to infection, skin thickening, and permanent disfigurement. Developing both conditions? That's a nightmare combo. Despite all this, Anna claimed in her video that her 4th surgery made her feel better and that recovery was actually easier than the ones before. She even included a before and after comparison in the same video. But again, the visual difference was barely noticeable.
Of all the surgeries I've had, I feel like the most normal, the most me, the most comfortable after this surgery. I don't know if it's because it was the last one or if just like some magic is in the air in Utah. But honestly, I feel great. And if anything, I'm having to like temper down what I want to do because honestly, I feel really good. After this,
By now, people were openly wondering, why isn't she losing any weight, especially after multiple rounds of liposuction? Anna did have an answer. According to her, people were just being impatient because liposuction takes time to show results. She claimed it could take up to 2 years to see the final outcome.
I mean, like the very initial stages of recovery. And this is something that I realize people do not understand. They expect like the results to be immediate. And I think that's because people are very familiar with like weight loss surgery, where you do see results very quickly. Like people begin to lose weight and they're like, oh, her body's changed. That is not how these surgeries work. The recovery period for these is up to like 18 months to 2 years. So that's
Well, here's the thing. That's not entirely accurate. In most cases, visible results from liposuction start showing within 1 to 3 months, with final results typically around 6 months to a year. For morbidly obese individuals, it can take longer to see contouring effects, but liposuction isn't intended as a weight loss solution to begin with. It's meant for reshaping specific areas. If there's no overall lifestyle change, like diet or exercise, the fat often comes back, and sometimes in new places, due to the body's natural redistribution response. So, no, it doesn't usually take 2 full years unless we're talking about healing and not transformation. While most viewers had come to the conclusion that Anna's multiple surgeries had made no visible difference, with her appearing bigger and more swollen in every new video, Anna always had a different perspective. According to her, the goal was never to become toned or lose weight. Nope. These procedures, she insisted, were all about gaining mobility and becoming stronger and more agile. Sound familiar? That's because it's the exact same line she used when she was first on Wegovy, claiming she wanted to reduce inflammation and not shed pounds. Fast forward to June 2025, and Anna began posting health updates again. She claimed that the surgeries had helped her immensely, at least when it came to mobility. She uploaded a few videos proudly showing that she could now do activities she hadn't been able to do before. She even referenced a past doctor's appointment where she'd struggled with a basic movement, and now, post-surgery, she could do it without issue.
why is this so hard? Before my lipedema surgeries, I actually took video of me doing several like mobility exercises to kind of see my improvement in a way other than weight. Since it is Global Lipedema Month, yay! I thought this was a great time to show you my initial progress. I am 8 weeks post my last surgery, and I still have a lot of swelling to come down. I still have a lot of stamina to rebuild. I have a lot of flexibility to rebuild. So this is really just the start, but already I'm so impressed with just how much better my body is moving.
Holy crap, my stability is really good.
I went up to the gym to film these today, and I am just kind of blown away because they're a lot better than I thought they would be. I was actually nervous there wouldn't like be enough of a result, and if this is just the beginning, you're gonna have to watch out, guys, because I'm on a glow up trajectory. I just wanted to share it with you guys because I was excited.
One video showed her taking grip strength tests and comparing her results to professional athletes. A stretch, to say the least.
I'm basically like an Olympic athlete. This is a dynamometer, and it measures your grip strength. You put in some information about your age and your gender, and then you grip the handle for an output in how much you grip in pounds. Now, for a little bit of context, here's a video of some professional tennis players and what their grip strength was. In general, a female professional athlete will have a grip strength between 80 to 110 pounds. So now, let's test my grip strength.
109.2 pounds. I'm doing it again because I just like don't believe it. 104. I guess I'm just really good at gripping things. Apparently putting on compression has really done wonders for my grip strength. So I guess I have that to thank lipedema for.
And there were plenty of TikToks where she enthusiastically claimed that her body was finally working again. But viewers quickly pointed out that some of these new abilities, like standing on one leg, were things she could already do before surgery, so not exactly the breakthrough she was making it out to be. To make things worse, she's now back to doing heavy exercises that look anything but sane for someone at her size. And to be completely honest, she's not even doing them correctly. Watching her workouts feels more like watching someone attempt CrossFit without ever having heard of form, alignment, or a trainer. At this point, someone needs to intervene. She clearly needs a certified professional who can guide her towards safe, effective workouts tailored to her condition and body type. Because whatever she's doing with Copilot right now, it's just not effective. It's potentially harmful even. Ever since Anna started her liposuction journey, she's practically crowned herself the queen of medical misinformation. While her YouTube channel does share some of the harsher realities of undergoing liposuction, her TikTok, it tells a completely different story. Over there, it's all glamorized clips, trendy edits, and a filtered version of recovery that looks more like a skincare routine than major surgery. In fact, several of her TikToks were flagged for spreading medical misinformation. But did that stop Anna? Of course not. Accountability isn't really part of a brand. In Anna's world, she's always right, untouchable, above correction, and definitely not here for feedback.
I'm in a cab heading back from my MLD and I'm pissed off because TikTok just flagged one of my videos where I documented my lipedema removal surgery because they said I was promoting a negative body image because I was promoting cosmetic surgery. Let's just be very clear. Lipedema removal surgery is not a cosmetic surgery. It is a medical procedure to treat an illness. It is different than normal liposuction. It requires more technical skill, and it's removing fibrosis from the body, which actually can cause complications with your joints and your organs. So yeah, it's not a cosmetic procedure, and that's some bullshit.
And that's exactly the kind of behavior that's crushed her credibility online. She hides critical information, shares things that are probably false, and still tries to position herself as some kind of lipedema awareness icon. Spoiler alert, she's not. Because she doesn't just misrepresent the treatment, she doesn't even seem to understand the condition she claims to be fighting. Take, for example, her repeated claim that lipedema is a progressive disorder. That sounds serious, except it's not true. Lipedema is not classified as a progressive disorder in the way Anna makes it sound. According to current research, lipedema doesn't automatically worsen over time. Instead, it can progress if left unmanaged, particularly in the absence of consistent lifestyle interventions like diet, compression therapy, or physical activity. In other words, the condition can worsen due to neglect, not because it just spirals out of control on its own, like Anna loves to suggest. So, when Anna claims she's doing everything she can and still blames her body state entirely on lipedema progressing, it's a pretty big red flag. Especially when she's publicly dismissed the role of diet and exercise for years. Her detachment from reality became even more apparent when she co-hosted a podcast called The Medical Detectives and casually referred to herself as a medical mystery. This comment revealed just how deeply she seems to believe that her condition is uniquely unmanageable and entirely out of control, absolving herself of any personal responsibility. Ever since Anna ended her liposuction journey, her content slowly drifted back into its usual rhythm. The surgeries might be new, but the videos are pretty much the same. We're back to travel vlogs, hikes through scenic trails, brand partnerships that don't align with her actual audience's needs, and of course, lots of cheerful content implying that life post-surgery is now perfect.
You ready, Dana? Let's go! Today we are driving to pick up last little piece, and that last little piece was the iced cherry chai latte. So I got mine. I love that they wrote me a cute little message to treat myself, and you know what? I love how this turned out. I think it is a great look.
In the last video, where she addressed her surgical journey, Anna declared that she was ready to close this chapter so she could finally enjoy her life. Now, here's the thing. Anna has always positioned herself as someone who lives life to the fullest despite her size. From the start, her whole brand was "I'm plus size, I'm fabulous, and I don't let anything stop me." She swam in oceans, traveled to Hawaii, went ziplining, rode roller coasters, and took glamorous vacations. She wasn't exactly living in a darkroom waiting for surgery to save her. But suddenly, post-surgery, she's rewriting the narrative. Now, the message is, "I've never truly lived until now." Really, Anna? Because it looked like you were doing just fine before. In fact, someone would say you were thriving, at least according to your Instagram highlights. To reinforce her new chapter, Anna has begun sharing more physically active content. She's hiking more, running again, yes, again, and doing more of her beloved co-pilot workouts. You'd think she'd slow down a bit to actually heal, but now, this is all part of the ongoing performance. The goal? To prove that she's just as agile, athletic, and unstoppable as any average-sized person. Even if that means risking her recovery and her long-term health in the process. And because some things never change, Anna's Starbucks obsession is still going strong. Even after surgery, she's still promoting sugary, calorie-loaded drinks in video after video. It's part of her brand now, surgery or not. Another recurring theme is her compression gear. Anna has been posting plenty of videos showing off her outfits, with compression garments layered underneath, of course. Along with these posts come repeated claims that her body is changing rapidly, that she's shrinking, that old clothes are falling off her. Yet visually, not much seems to have changed. Her audience, many of whom have followed her for years, have noted the lack of noticeable difference. But Anna is adamant. She is losing weight, getting healthier, and in her words, becoming better every day. She even released a bucket list of things she plans to do post-surgery. Apparently, her big goal is to visit every single national park in the US, hike up Coco Head in Hawaii, and basically push her body to its physical limits. This isn't about gradual healing. It's about proving something. Something big, something dramatic. And of course, once the goal is achieved, she will post about it, expecting applause and validation, just like always.
Anna, you want to tell us what you're looking forward to after surgery?
Oh man. I want to climb Coco Head. That was the thing I couldn't do when that led to this surgery process. So to be able to go back and do it would be like
the full evolution of my life.
And that brings us to the infamous cave video. In one of her latest updates, Anna took a trip to Mammoth Cave National Park, a beautiful but very physically demanding destination. She filmed herself navigating a narrow cave passage, repeatedly commenting on how tight the space was, how fat she felt in it, and how she wasn't sure what she had gotten herself into.
Big person in a tiny space and it's hard. We're at Mammoth Cave National Park.
Let's pause there. Before every Mammoth Cave tour, park rangers give visitors an extremely detailed briefing. They tell you exactly how far you'll walk, how low the ceilings are, how narrow the passageways gets, and how long you'll be underground. They make it very clear that if you're unsure about your physical capability, you should remove yourself from the tour. And they emphasize that in the case of an emergency, rescue could take hours. So for Anna to act surprised, like she accidentally ended up in a tight cave with no warning, suggests either she wasn't paying attention or she just didn't care. The video didn't sit well with many people online. Some pointed out her constant filming and self-commentary probably disrupted the experience for other tourists. Others said she was putting everyone at risk. If she had gotten stuck or needed assistance, it could have delayed the group or put rangers in a difficult position. The video screamed, "Look at me, I'm brave," but all it really showed was poor judgment. One viewer who clearly meant well even left a comment on her video expressing concern. They shared that they had once broken an ankle while hiking, and due to their plus-size body, their recovery had been slow and painful. They advised Anna to be cautious and avoid unnecessary risks. Anna's response: "I've done a lot of work to get where I am. I'm taking calculated risks, not careless ones." A little harsh for someone just offering friendly advice, but if you've been following Anna long enough, this won't surprise you. She's known for snapping at people who challenge her, even respectfully. And this idea that she's done the work, what does that even mean? Because so far, all we've seen is her throwing money at surgeries, ignoring medical guidelines, and doing just enough to keep the illusion alive. This isn't new behavior either. Let's not forget the time she got visibly upset when people kept asking about her diet.
Rant for like 2 seconds. I don't do this very often, but I want to today. I want to rant. I'm so sick and tired of people coming on my account being like, "When are you going to address your diet?" Y'all don't know what I eat. I don't make that much food content. I don't talk about what I eat. And frankly, you are not here watching me put food in my mouth. So how do you know what I'm eating?
Or the incident on the hiking trail when someone tried to be supportive and said, "Good job," only for her to take offense and make it into a public rant.
That's that lady again. And she stops me. I don't even think she realizes she's already seen me. And she goes, waves and is like, "Good job." And I'm like, "Do I know you?" And she goes, I don't think so. And I was like, "Well, you're acting like someone who knows me. And if you knew me, you'd know that I'm on this trail all the time, so it's really not that exciting. So now you know." And then I just took off running.
Then there's the deleted Target video, where she strutted around the junior section, rearranged mannequins, and acted like the entire store existed just to serve her personal fashion fantasy. Confidence is one thing, that was something else entirely.
Oh, you need a sparkle. What the hell they had you in? Oh, get this in here. There's a Target person like right across the way, and I'm just having to pretend like nothing's happening. But I gotta help the girl out. She looks rough.
At this point, Anna's brand seems to be built on a few key pillars: performative progress, aggressive positivity, and shutting down anyone who dares to ask a reasonable question. And what's most frustrating is how these behaviors directly affect the people who actually need guidance: viewers with lipedema, chronic pain, obesity, or mobility issues who turn to her hoping for honest insight. Instead, what they get is a curated fantasy, risky physical challenges disguised as bravery, brand deals dressed up as nourishment, and surgeries packed like self-love. And speaking of self-love, Anna's version of it seems to come with a healthy dose of Instagram filters. Lately, she's been posting photos where she appears to have magically lost few inches around her waist. But here's the thing, based on everything we've seen post-surgery, there's been no visible weight loss. So, what's going on? Well, when the scale doesn't move, apparently, a filter does. Take this photo, for example. At first glance, everything looks great. Snatch waist, confident pose. It's giving surgery success story. But now, let's zoom in a little. See those wavy, warped fingers? Classic sign of a body slimming filter. The waist might look tighter, but her fingers pay the price. And yet, despite this very obvious editing fail, don't even think about calling her out, because if you do, you're instantly labeled a hater, probably blocked, and definitely added to the "you are just jealous" pile. And it's not just her waist. Lately, Anna's also been giving her face the filter treatment. Some of her recent selfies look nothing like her. Her jawline is suddenly razor sharp and her chin smoother than ever. Which would be fine, except we've seen her face. We know that's not what her chin looks like. Filters are everywhere on social media, sure, but when you're constantly talking about self-love and body acceptance while secretly reshaping your face and body in every photo, the message gets a little muddy. And speaking of questionable claims, let's talk about that Instagram story she recently posted, where she proudly shared that her body scans revealed she is more muscle mass than the average person her size. That might sound impressive until you stop and think about what that actually means. Most people who weigh 600 pounds aren't out there lifting weights. They're often bedbound or immobile. So yes, if you've been going to the gym twice a week for a year, of course you will have more muscle than the statistical average of your weight class. But flexing that you're in the top 1% of the 0.1% of people your size isn't the win she thinks it is. It's like saying you're the fastest sprinter in a crowd of people sitting down. Her hiking videos are also a hot topic lately, especially the one where she films herself walking the William Lakes Trail. The video ends in tears, dramatic music, and emotional narration. Anna frames it as this major breakthrough moment, like she summited Mount Everest.
Today, I'm really pushing myself. I'm doing the William Lake Trail in Taos, New Mexico.
This trail is going to be really hard for me for 3 reasons. One, it's the highest altitude I've ever done, and it starts at 10,000 feet. 2, it's an aggressive climb up. It's about 1,000 feet up in about 1.5 miles. And 3, I'm going it alone, so I don't have anyone to help me get through this. I've got to do it by myself.
I'm going, I think even higher than that. I'm not 100% sure. 1 mile down, Gatorade break. So at this high of an altitude, you're actually at risk for altitude sickness. So hydration becomes incredibly important to survive. We are so thin that I'm out of breath like every couple steps. So I have to stop, recatch my breath, and keep going. But right now I'm at 10,500 feet. A half mile from the lake, and the altitude is really rough, but I'm determined to make it.
I know this looks super simple, but high altitude hiking is no joke.
I freaking made it. Took me forever and slow as hell, but you know what? That doesn't matter, because I made it. No.
Congratulations.
And that's insane. It's freaking insane.
I'm just having a good cry. I just wanted to do this stuff for so long, and now I can't have it. I'm just really grateful.
But then someone on Reddit posted actual photos of the trail. Turns out, it's one of the most popular walking trails for middle-aged and elderly hikers. Yes, it's located at a high elevation, but the terrain itself is completely flat. From what we saw, Anna was just walking on a trail, which, by the way, she's done plenty of times before. And that's the thing, no one's saying she shouldn't be proud of being active, but representing a flat nature trail like it's physically punishing alpine climb, that's not motivation, that's just straight up misleading. So far, Anna's journey has been a roller coaster of contradictions. She started as a fun, quirky, plus-size influencer who proudly declared that nothing, not even her weight, could stop her from living life to the fullest. Then came the sudden shift. Out of nowhere, she were told she had never really lived until she started getting liposuction. From promoting co-pilot workouts and fast food, to quietly taking Wegovy while denying any dietary changes, to undergoing surgeries and still using filters to fake results, Anna has repeatedly chosen performance over honesty. She's cried on trails, walked marathons, glamorized dangerous hikes, and spun every reckless choice into a story of triumph. And through it all, any attempt at accountability is met with blocks, clapbacks, or complete denial. So what's next? More surgeries? More hiking ox? More potentially dangerous and attention-seeking stunts? Maybe another rebrand where she claims she's finally found herself again? One thing's for sure, Anna is showing no signs of slowing down, changing her ways, or living in reality. If history tells us anything, it's that we can expect more filtered photos, exaggerated wins, dramatic health updates, and a constant need for praise. Whatever comes next, you already know it's going to be chaotic, curated, and let's face it, completely delusional.
If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like our video, subscribe to our channel, and drop your thoughts in the comments below because we read all your comments. What do you think will be the next part of her story? More workout era, or more surgeries, or just chill iced lattes with some misleading captions? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, goodbye!